Hi, everyone. Welcome to Who Said What with me. I'm Hiba.
And I'm Nira.
And today is our first episode with a guest. We have Omar Shabrawy with us, who is a food blogger. And we're very excited because we've just been discussing, just before the show, we just started discussing about cookies because, of course, as you know, our background is the Four Fat Ladies founders. So,
Chef.
Omar was just saying he baked cookies. What is your favorite type of cookie?
A chocolate chip cookie.
Okay, chewy or crispy?
I like it a mix of both.
Thank you. My cookie.
If it's too biscuity, I don't know. I just have to dip it in something.
Wrong. You overbake yours.
Mine
Go,
are
keep
chewy
going.
and crunchy.
I would go for a little underbaked over overbaked. Sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry,
I
Nira.
always tell Nira that. Yeah. The oatmeal cookie, last time, she makes the best batter. So last time, I told her, give me the batter and I will bake them. She gave it to me. She gave me the batter and I baked it. I baked it just until
That's just like a slap in the face.
It's so annoying.
That's just like...
No, but
It's like,
you know what?
you just do the dough and leave.
Perfect. No, because
I'm kidding.
dough
Yeah,
is 80% of the, well,
Of course.
maybe it's a 50-50 then.
How about
Okay, no. The
if
dough
the
is
dough's not good, however you bake it, it's not going to come out good. Okay?
absolutely.
No, I think the dough is more than 50%.
Of course
Because
it's
I've made
80%.
I've made cookies before that were perfect texture, but they tasted like
shit.
yes.
Oh my God, that reminds me. You remember when we first started making chocolate chip cookies? I had
It's like a 20-year war between the three of us.
And me and my
Full-on war.
chocolate chip war. We were like every weekend making to the point where I think we had
I
all
stopped.
diarrhea.
I
At
stopped
the
and I
end.
let you
We had so many batches of cookies. I was like, oh my God, I feel ill.
It reminds me of the Monica Friends, if you guys like Friends.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, there was this episode when they did all these batches of cookies.
Because of Phoebe, the recipe that Phoebe lost?
Yes, so they're trying to get the Nestle
right.
to the house.
The Toll House
Yeah.
cookie recipe. Which is not a very good recipe, by the way.
I know, even the chocolate chips, I don't really like them.
The Hershey, the chocolate,
I like the Hershey one whenever I can find it. You know,
so expensive now.
it's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are using now in Egypt, they're using that, the gold,
The big
Egyptian-
ones,
the Egyptian chocolate
the
chips.
very tiny ones,
Very
they're
tiny
like
ones?
sesame chips.
I hate those.
I
They
hate them.
don't,
They
like-
don't taste like chocolate.
they're not supposed to melt to begin with, but these are like intact. They do not lose any shape
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatsoever. And it's horrible.
I have some bags of Hershey's in my freezer, and I use like half of the portion I want to put in the batter with it, and then I get something else and just mix it. But like a proper chocolate, like a dark chocolate that I like or whatever, and I just mix them. So I don't use all my Hershey's.
A lot of the people on Instagram are using dark chocolate instead of chips in the States. What's her name? That person we follow.
I'll tell you, there's one person that told me about a chocolate chip cookie that she makes a very, very, very amazing one, and it does look pretty good, is Daphne Oz.
Yeah, she's the one that uses
She's the one.
dark chocolate. She doesn't use chips. She uses
I like dark chocolate.
and
Because
she
it melts
breaks it
Yeah.
breaks it up.
Which actually, I used to be a huge fan of the chocolate chips, but I actually prefer it to melt. I think it's nicer. It gives it more of like this chewy crunch texture, which is perfect.
Because the chocolate stays soft, almost melted. You have a couple of very old ones here.
But they're in the freezer, so they stay for 10 years.
What stays in the freezer for 10 years?
Anything you put in the freezer will stay for 10 years.
Like dough.
chocolate chips?
You have the two chocolate chip, but they're like 2 or 3 days old. I wonder what they taste like now.
Oh, you mean the actual? No, they're not good. And for me, chocolate chip cookies, any cookies are good within 24 hours. After that, they're not.
What? Do you grill after
No.
48 hours? Seriously?
I can go more.
You want them to try? I wonder if
I mean,
cookies are good.
I would prefer it after a day, maybe, but not more. But I have eaten cookies that have lasted. Probably not good for me, but yeah. Because sometimes I buy a big box of cookies and I don't eat them all, and I don't like to share them all the time. So I just eat it 3 days after.
Lucky, I have Nira, my sister, who does them for me.
I live across the street too.
So it's great for me, but I prefer them within 24 hours. After that, I feel like they have this like sugary, I don't like the texture.
I wonder what they taste like. Well,
I'll bring them for you
Okay.
in the entr'acte. So basically, we met Omar. We met him when we had the Four Fat Ladies. Was
Yeah.
it? But I think it was more like in 2015, right?
no, he came to this.
Actually,
shop in
I
Yema
came
Center.
to the very first shop, and you probably don't remember. I was in the
She
food
wasn't
blogger
there.
area.
She was.
Yemama Center.
Are you sure?
I was the only one that was there. Yeah.
In Yemama
Okay.
Center.
Yes.
Okay.
I came in with my cousin. She had known about the place, and she told me that they make the best brownies, and you have to go. And we went, and I met Nira. I don't remember if there was someone else, but we didn't like just buy cookies. We bought like brownies in the Buckeye, which I was very
Oh my God. Those were
devastated
favorites.
that it was gone afterwards. And we had like a conversation, and we talked about our families and like how we're part Greek, and it was like a very nice day. I remember that.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That's sort of the best.
were you into food blogging at that time?
Not at all.
Oh really?
Yeah. Just
my
the
God,
regular.
So was near the inspiration?
Maybe.
Have on.
I don't even remember what year that was. I think maybe 2014. Was it open then?
2015 we opened.
Oh,
or was
okay.
it the end of 2014?
We opened the one in Yemama Center in 2014, and then we merged with what's our names in 2015.
With TBS into
Those the names we do not say their names
with our partners. Yes.
Not that I have anything.
That was before that.
It was before.
yes,
Yeah, it was very early on.
Yeah, because I started end of 2000 and we started end of 2012. 2013, I was renting the kitchen and selling that way, and then 2014 we opened Yemama Center, and then we met the guys in 2015. Ramadan.
So what were you doing then?
I was working as a financial analyst.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously?
Yes,
Where?
in a French company that I also don't want to mention its name.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
but I've had a lot of different like jobs. That was my last year. Actually, the next year I moved to advertising, and then
Yeah, that's right. You said you were in advertising.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We just
kind of like me. I did
we just
million
missed each other in
different things.
advertising then.
You were in advertising as well until what? But you were until 2012. After that, you did the Four Fat Ladies.
No, I did advertising from 2015 till 2021.
Wow.
And then I quit.
No, but wait. But you were doing the food blogging before then. Before you
Yes,
quit.
in 2015. It was like a side thing.
Okay, side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, which kind of.
Which, it was fun. It was like a hobby that turned into work, but it's still something I'm very passionate about. But then I just wanted to do that and focus on that. So I quit my job, which was in an agency very close to here, 2 years ago. And that's all I do now. Just a food blogger.
Yeah, it's I like your stuff. It's nice, but
Thank you.
But you do a lot of reviews as well, right?
That's actually how I started. I'm not really a cook. I wouldn't even say any, I just like to cook. I like to learn about cooking. And that's the kind of content I feel more comfortable doing because I feel I have more creative input in it, and I'm always learning about stuff in it. But I also do food reviews sometimes when it's a place I like or feel good making something for it, because there are so many places that I would never just work with.
But
unfortunately.
But you like to cook savory mainly, or dessert?
Yes, savory.
Savory.
I'm
And you
a-
always like doing that, or is
Yes.
it do you do it for the blog?
No, I prefer savory in general.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I'm not.
And what's your
More for me.
and what's
opportunities for
what's
me.
the favorite thing you cook?
Breakfast.
Really?
Yes.
I think I saw something
I
that
can
you
have
make
a
us
very
amazing.
big breakfast, like a big hearty breakfast, and then just spend the rest of the day doing like what you
Okay, so what is your favorite? Like, what do you make? Like,
I like anything with eggs and butter and like a good bread, different cheeses. I can go crazy with that. But I also like other savory food. Like I love potatoes in all its forms, pastas. But like bread is like my life. I just love a good bakery. I could just stay there.
Who makes the best bread in Egypt?
That's debatable.
Okay, give me so nobody gets pissed off.
it's top 10. Top 10.
No,
like,
no, of course there aren't
Okay.
10 in Egypt.
Aren't 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Bread or like a bakery?
no, what's no? I don't
'Cause
see
it-
that we should name names. I said, what is your favorite kind of bread?
Oh my God, Heba. It's just
No, I
really-
mean, I've been eating a lot of sourdough, and I took like a workshop and I make my own bread, but I also prefer to buy sometimes because they have like different inclusions in it and stuff. But yeah, I would say sourdough and oat bread. I like croissants too. I love everything that's baked, like savory, everything.
I like croissant too very much. And then some buttery because I
Yes,
love butter.
and a pain au chocolat. Like if it's really good, it's perfect.
Oh my God, it's
There's a place
my
that's,
least favorite.
Like the best at that. In Maidi, it's very famous. I'm sure you guys know it.
Yeah, of course.
It is amazing. It's very good.
Yeah. I don't like all their stuff, but I like their croissants and their like croissant family.
They have a cinnamon bun that was amazing, a sticky bun that was really good.
Is it like the Cruffin thing?
No,
It was like a
I haven't tried that.
cinnamon roll, but it's flaky. It's not like
I've seen it, but I haven't tried it.
it was-
I like the brownies. They don't look appetizing, but they're good.
Their cookies were really good, by the way.
That's the kind of cookie I like, actually. Like a very simple, classic cookie. I don't like all the weird.
But the pecan pie, for example, the pecan pie, I
don't
to
think
me,
I've
it's like pecan pie is with American pie crust. It's not with flaky crust, like a croissant crust. And it just,
I haven't tried it.
So I didn't. I thought it was very heavy.
Okay.
The filling was very good, but altogether it was just very heavy for me.
But hands down, the brownies, my favorite brownies is Nero's.
Great. Amazing.
Yeah, I have to say. Yeti, your cookies don't fare as well. But
You're such an ass.
brownies are amazing.
My cookies are the bomb as well. Heba, this is my business.
It's just preference, you know?
Yeah.
It's like how you like your steak cooked. It's just different ways of.
It's true.
Nobody's complained about the cookies so far, and plenty of people have tried them, okay?
But hands down, the Four Fat Ladies, the brownies are the best I've had, like in general. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
The salted caramel one, I wasn't really into having like caramel inside something. So as a concept, I would never really go for it without trying it. And then I think I tried it at an opening of one of the branches, and then I was just like,
Zamelek.
this? The Zamelek one, yes.
The Zamelek
And I went home with a salted caramel for the day.
It was really funny because when we first started, when people came in and they're like, salted caramel?
Yeah, it was very new at
They're
the
like,
time.
no. You cannot put salt on the caramel. We're like, by the way, we didn't invent it. It's been there for a while.
Yeah.
It's very good. And trust me. And then after a while, I was like telling her, it was so funny because after a while, it became like people want more salt. ممكن تزودي الملح. ممكن
Extra
more
salt.
extra salt on your caramel. I'm like, okay. But yeah, it really, I think, Nira definitely certainly made the salted caramel, put it on the map in Egypt.
Yeah.
For sure. But
Thank But it's also like people, the Four Fat Ladies, they hated the name.
Yeah.
Leave it. Let me fash. I was just like, okay.
Well, I think the name was smart.
It was really smart, but it antagonized quite a few people.
Yeah.
It was smart.
Oddly enough.
We could use so much merchandise and we had so many plans to do.
Yeah,
this.
and the
Like,
branding was so cool and it was different.
It could have been amazing. But yeah, I had this one guy give me like a lecture on how he felt so insulted by the name and he would never walk in. And I said, "You tried our stuff?" No, but I cannot because of the name. Like, I was like, okay, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, ratio sourdough is not as good as it used to be.
I don't like their bread in general. I like
really?
the croissants more.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. What the
You
neat
know,
sourdough is
actually,
better.
it's true. We got sourdough last time.
It was not as
It was
good.
very good. Leaven is better.
I haven't tried Leaven because I live in Shizay, so I'm
Okay.
limited to where I can get that.
But I think they deliver.
Yeah, but it's like a whole thing. Like you have to pick the day, and it's like just not. Yeah. But I like their sandwiches, so it's in their bread, so it's good. Like they have this vegetarian sandwich that I really like. But if I'm just buying the bread, I would rather not buy from. I like home bakers. A lot of home bakers.
There's a Seba got this bread from the Saturday. Do you ever go to the Saturday market?
I haven't been in a very long time.
You should.
Yes,
Besides,
German. I'll give you the contact. I don't know what the name is called, but this German woman and her husband is Egyptian, and they made this. I got this rye bread with seeds, but not full of seeds. You know, sometimes it's too many seeds. No, this one's a perfect.
It was delicious.
And it actually tastes really good.
Okay.
and it was made with bran, right?
Rye.
Rye flour.
Actually, I want to ask you something that just came to mind before I forget. How is the situation with your weight since you've been food blogging? Because actually, that was one thing that
It's a roller coaster.
crazy. And the Four Fat Ladies, I'm like, I can't try anything else. And I would be eating more and more. And it's like, there's an addiction to it.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, I just can't eat anymore. I feel sick.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so this was kind of it is a roller coaster. But I'm very open. I was very open about it a few years ago. I had like a gastric sleeve surgery, but that wasn't really related to being a food blogger because I think you can control it if you want to. Because we're not like, if I'm making like a video, reviewing a place once a week, that could be like my cheat meal. Or you can't eat like that every single day. But for me, I went through like a depression thing and I got really, really like extremely overweight. And it's been like a struggle my entire life before there was Instagram. So, yeah.
Isn't it for all of us at some point? Like, because I find like people blog, the food bloggers, I find they make such amazing stuff. And when I look at this stuff, and some of these people, in the States, they look amazing. You're like, how the fuck are you making all that stuff? And I'm sure, like you said, they probably take a bite out of it. They're not.
That's what I
eating,
mean.
They do
they're
the
not
wine
scarfing
thing. They do
down.
the wine thing. You know, they spit
Yes.
it out.
So when you bake like for someone like a cake or something, do you?
No,
feel
I'm
like
not
you
that
wanna eat it?
disciplined. I'm not that. No, I'll take a
Because
little
whenever
bit.
I'm cooking like a recipe that I have to shoot for a brand or something, I would have to taste it to make sure it's right.
Exactly.
But I don't eat it. Actually, usually just give it to my parents because I really like after all the effort of filming and shooting and getting the light and the cutting and the slicing, I'm just like I'm done. Like I don't usually have it all. Like I would just taste it.
I'm not the one doing the baking. It was always Nira breaking like a million things. She's one of those people, that she lost weight, so she wants everybody else to be
Yes.
fat, but she gets you all the food and you try it. I'm like, liar. I really can't try it. Try it. You have to try it.
But there is a joy of feeding someone. It's just yeah.
Oh my god! Yes. And then mom complains. Nira's baking thing, complaining, and then Heather gets her 2 bags of dime chocolates. I'm like
I have in my bag. I always carry it in my bag.
a bowl of chocolates, it'll
Yeah.
stay for months. I don't have the temptation, but if it's
No.
for some
I'm
reason
not- I
it's
don't-
perishable,
I can't
need to
have that.
it soon. So I feel bad leaving it like that.
But I like I'm an emotional eater. So if I'm sad or if I'm happy, I'm always obsessive with the food. But it's usually just like stuff that's bad for you, not like the stuff I cook for my blog.
Yeah.
Because it's usually like meals that are like a dinner, lunch meal. So it's not really junk food. But what I do, like when I'm staying home and it's like midnight and I start to open endless bags of chips and chocolates and stuff, that's where I get my weight issues.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. I think we all have that. Yeah, Nira's ice cream.
Really? I can eat endless chips, like forever chips.
I'm like you. I love potatoes.
And fries and like
I love potatoes in all its form and all
Yes.
its glory.
yes.
It's true. Amazing.
I was
Boiled
actually
baked
like
potato.
making something like shooting a video like a recipe yesterday with potatoes, and I always eat them when I'm still shooting and it's not done. So I always have to fry extra, just for eating while and I finished like the half of the potatoes we made. So it was
Yeah, I have that addiction as well. But not so much the ice cream. I like ice cream, but I'm not a huge fan of ice cream.
I love
Yeah, it
ice
is.
cream.
You like ice cream too? Which is your favorite?
Okay, so I have a very specific weird one. It's Baskin Robbins Jamocha almond fudge.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Please remember to subscribe and listen to us on all the podcast platforms. And please share and give us your feedback on what you'd like to hear us talk about next. We'd love to hear from you. And now, back to the show.
so funny because I haven't talked about Baskin Robbins but I just talked about it recently, and they're like, "Oh, I like Baskin Robbins." I'm like, "Classic." Pralines and cream, and I actually get the gold medal ribbon. It's a chocolate and vanilla
like it
with
too, yeah.
caramel. Pralines and cream, I love it, but it's getting sweeter and sweeter.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I'm a fan, like, if I'm going to have ice cream, I want it like with like caramel swirls. Because I'm not a huge fan of ice cream, but if I want it like really decadent.
No, I
went to the
love
best cream
ice.
parlor in
But
the
since I did
States.
the surgery, I can't really have that much. But I remember I once had 9 scoops in one like sitting.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You like my
Not even
husband.
sitting. We were on the street. My friends were having like shawarma, and I just bought this half pint thing, and I ate the entire thing just standing talking on the street. So I am that person. Yeah.
I know. I can get a tub and finish. It's bad.
Yeah, it's just
like bad.
the thing.
But
Yeah.
you were like, and what flavors do you like?
I worked in one of the best ice cream parlors in the States. Like
Which one?
Harold's. So it's very East
Coast.
Coast. But he is referred to, like Ben and Jerry's refer to him because he created the super premium ice cream. Somebody was just like, no, he did. Oh. Somebody's like, no, it was Haagen-Dazs. It was not.
I don't like Haagen-Dazs.
I don't mind it. Their
don't
vanilla,
know.
their vanilla is good. Their vanilla is good. The Dolce de Leche is got a lot of hype. But Harold's, he created the mix-ins.
It's called Smushin. It's called the Smushin.
They were originally called mix-ins when it was Steve's. Then he started in the 80s. And then when he opened Harold's, it was called Smushins. And now people think that Cold Stone,
Oh, that kind of thing. Yeah.
they did, it was him.
Okay.
And it was all natural flavors, no artificial coloring. It
Wow.
was divine.
Because I took a shirt because when she came to my small little town where I went to college in the States, it was there. It was a small town outside of Boston, and that town, they knew that ice cream place. It was so well known.
He
was Harold's Ice Cream.
Steve's very well known.
And at the time, there was nothing like that. It was the 90s. But we had ice cream and you put like things in it.
Raspberries.
Yeah.
Cookie dough ice cream with raspberries.
I had it with, what was it? Gummy bears and chocolate. Oh, because I'm a huge fan of peanut butter. So it had peanut butter chunks in it and it was like so good.
I like the peppermint ice cream with York peppermint patties.
Going back to like the brownies, I love the peanut butter. You had a peanut butter brownie.
Yeah,
of
of course.
That's why you like the Buckeye. I used to love the Buckeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make it. I haven't done it so long. I'll make it one time. Actually, I just haven't done it in a really, really long time.
Yeah, it's a shame that you didn't do it for your fellow food vlogger. You didn't get
I was busy. I was really busy. There's just so much going on right now. It's insane. And I made plenty for your kids for their birthdays. 2 days, Hava.
Yeah, but they don't appreciate it so much.
No, they did.
Anyways.
But for me, I know ice cream, but I love Quader's pistachio ice cream.
Oh, I like Guido's actual ice cream. Yeah.
Besides, everybody's like, it's only Zebedi and Tut. I'm like, yeah, of course, that's standard.
You know, I always end up getting that one
You got
for some reason.
pistachio,
No, the
Zebedi.
berry yogurt one.
but their pistachio is divine.
I haven't tried it.
Their hazelnut is
I tried the hazelnut,
The
but
Nutella
is-
pistachio is amazing.
the Nutella one is.
yeah, I like the Nutella, even though I don't like chocolate ice cream.
I don't either.
Like, I love chocolate in general, but I hate chocolate ice
I
cream.
like vanilla ice
It always
creams.
feels like icy, but I love coffee in general. So anything coffee, if it's done well, I can have it like for
They have a Kinder ice cream that's also really
Yeah, I noticed you put that, you have that on your thing, coffee first. Do
Always.
you wake up and have coffee?
Yes, coffee. I have like a filter coffee. I'm professional.
Filtered, okay.
Yeah, but I have to like grind my own beans every morning and do the
wow.
whole thing. Yeah, and like weight
really nice.
like scales and stuff. Yeah,
That's
I
nice.
love coffee.
Because I like it when you get out. Like I had a friend of mine who had one on a timer. So every morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, you come down and you smell the whole place smells of coffee.
That's good.
I don't drink coffee for hours.
Yeah, I have it as a treat. Now I
Yeah.
stopped drinking coffee for a year, funnily enough.
Wow.
And I go through phases where I don't drink coffee and then I drink coffee. And I just went back to Gold Blend. I know that sounds horrible for coffee
it's fine.
drinkers. And I love it.
I just discovered Amor Perfecto.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yes.
I parked next to it so I can get one on my way home.
So good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's so good. But the baristas are actually exceptionally good there.
I actually took like a barista course with them.
Coffee.
What?
I used to make coffee as well.
Oh, that's amazing. I took when I worked here, I took a barista course. It was a 2-day, 8-hour day thing with one of their baristas. So I would come there at like 7 a.m. and study and make coffees for people. But he was like a Colombian barista who was there, but then he left. His name is Cesar.
He's the one that trained, I think, all
He
of
trained
them
them, but then he went back to Colombia. And that was actually when I was really getting into specialty coffee and that whole world. And now I'm really more into it. I like judge competition. Oh, really? Yeah, I was like, yeah, I love coffee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So who has the worst coffee in Cairo?
Worse? Actually, a lot of people, like not people, but I hate most places that make coffee. Because they always, it's just the problem with the actual beans they use, like the roasting itself. They burn the coffee, and like most people don't really know that. And I didn't really understand the difference between a burnt bean until like 2-3 years ago when I started to try different kinds of coffee.
Yeah.
There are places that I like. I have a very special place that I go to every single day.
Which one?
It's called Specialty Bun.
Wait.
It's a very small place, but for me, it's like it's in Sheikh Zayed.
Okay, I've heard of it.
It's like by far the best, not like amongst it. No, it's just the best.
Where is
They
it?
roast. It's in Arkin.
I think so. Is it next to the stairway?
Yes.
I think I've seen it.
It's next to like the same place where Gourmet is and Flower Power,
Yes,
KB, like KB Studio, KB Cake Studio.
Yeah.
It's right next to it.
Oh, so it's in that
That little line
Wow.
street thing. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
They're actually coffee roasters. And I've been to the roastery before, so they really know what they're doing, and the staff is amazing. They're all my friends, and I like going there. The coffee is really, really good.
You know, actually, what I find people do wrong, I don't know if it's because I was a barista way back when I was in college, but I find here in Egypt, first of all, they never remove the coffee from the top before they put in a new coffee. So sometimes it's like burned coffee on newer coffee. but I find they froth the milk sometimes way too hot.
Yes.
And it's
It gives an aftertaste that's annoying.
Yeah.
That's
Whenever
a bit off.
like the extra hot or too hot, whatever, it's not right because it actually burns the milk and it just turns the whole thing off for me. Yeah. And the calibration, they should do like this calibration thing every morning for the espresso, and they skip it.
I was just gonna say they're probably not as good as yours. Of course, we wouldn't want to. Yeah, it was the first try. You guys are my guinea pigs. It's healthy, so at least healthy shouldn't really necessarily taste good.
With the caramel and the chocolate.
No, you just need to just have a spoon of caramel with every bite of the chocolate, and just think it's healthy. So
How is it healthy? Like why?
because it doesn't have any flour in it,
Okay.
and it has cacao powder and coconut. I didn't put butter. I put mainly coconut oil, and that's it. So it's dark cocoa.
The caramel is not healthy.
Yeah, but the caramel is what makes it good.
Makes up for that. What do you think is the best coffee place if you like coffee in general?
Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere else?
There's Amor Perfecto, and there's there are a few these days that aren't bad. There's Amor Perfecto that I go to regularly because it's right next to my place because I live right there. But there's that other one in Zamalek called Coffee Selection.
Haven't tried it.
Is it called the one that's in front of Kulsum? I think it's called Coffee Selection.
I don't know.
Seven Fortune is not bad.
Yeah.
There was this one that was good a long time ago, maybe because I'm not somebody who drinks coffee every day.
La Roma is not bad.
Haven't had it in a long
Had
time.
it in a while. Go ahead, sorry.
I don't remember the name actually.
I get kind of grossed out. The only thing is Amor Perfecto, I really like that every time they froth the milk, they clean the wand.
Yeah.
The wand is the thing that goes in.
Yeah.
Just in case people don't know. I know everybody. It's the wand is what steams the milk. And they don't clean, and that grosses me out because when I was
They should. Yeah. It was part of the thing.
mandatory.
Of course.
Because that's bacteria.
Yeah.
So Laurent kind of, the coffee is really good. That kind of used to, On the Run used to make good coffee.
Yes.
Really good coffee.
Yeah.
Do they still?
I
haven't tried it in a while.
Long time, yeah.
I haven't tried it
In years, actually, yeah.
But they always had really good milk. They always used
Yes.
Benita milk, which made a huge difference. I don't drink milk anymore because I have sinuses, so I have to drink alternative milks. But, so wait, Coffee Selection wasn't bad. Amor Perfecto.
Did you do the alternative milks or did you talk?
I drink oat milk.
Me too.
Oat milk is the best, but I
Yes,
actually
Alpro.
I go back. I went back to regular milk. Well, I know coffee mate.
I can't because I have sinus.
I
Fan of coffee mates.
I have a little bit of a lactose thing, but milk is usually the worst like trigger for it,
Yeah.
and a lot of cheese. If I have some cheese, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if I have like a cappuccino or something with like a lot of milk, I would have like digestive issues all day. So yeah, I switched to oat milk, but only if it's Alpro because all the other brands they just make it weird.
Joanna's is not bad, by the way.
Is it like too watery or is it good? Is it
I
good?
think it's actually, I
haven't tried it to be honest.
there's that Egyptian one called Grow,
I've seen it. Okay.
Not good.
Facial expression says no.
and then
Just for the
and then that Scotty brand, not good either.
yeah.
I got into that at one point to do the alternative milks, but then I just
I had to because I have I get sinuses. I
Yeah.
have sinusitis, and I was getting like 2-3 times a year. And then when I stopped regular milk in my coffee in 2019, right after UPW, I've gotten sinusitis maybe twice
Okay.
in the last 5 years. So which is pretty good for me. 4 years, which is pretty good.
That's good.
So yeah, I don't like drinking. And now even I tell them to lessen the amount of oat milk in my coffee because it's too much.
I like a
less.
cortado. Like I like more coffee. If the coffee is good, I don't need to like cover it with milk.
Exactly.
But if it's like a shitty place that I'm not really sure, I'll just make like a flat white or something that to cover the.
And then
burnt coffee.
the baristas in On the Run and Amor are all pretty good, are all excellent. I think the other ones is like sometimes you get a barista they're not that good. So the coffee comes out crap.
Man, I think that
Same
it
place.
has a lot to do with the barista too.
Of course.
Sometimes I go to Amor Perfecto, it's very good. Yeah, and when I when I had it. I didn't have very many times there, and then a couple of times it was so bad. And I'm a very unloyal customer. If it's not good once or twice, I just don't go again. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't, because I'm not a huge lover of coffee.
Yeah,
So it's like, class, I'm not gonna go. So yeah. But how about in terms of food? What is your favorite food to make? Potatoes.
I don't make a lot of potatoes. Just eat them. Like someone make them because they usually take time. Do you know if you're like frying them or whatever? To make, it really, I don't know. It's just I like pastas, but it changes. I feel like as I get older, I'm more like mature with what I'm eating. When I was a bit younger, I was always like frying stuff and like pasta with like heavy cream. Now I was just talking to a friend about that yesterday. Now I'd like prefer to have like a good roasted chicken with like rice and vegetables, and I just enjoy the like real food. If that makes sense. More than like I don't eat fast food as much as I used to, and I was like a McDonald's person 3 times a week. Now I'm just like I don't want to have that at all. So yeah, I like a good like fish, chicken. Like I make very simple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, Mark, he made this pasta, and actually he did it. He like told me about it one time, and I was in Guna. And I'm like, I'm making this pasta, and it was delicious. Very
one?
light, actually. So it's spaghetti, and then you saute garlic. You make
Olive
the
oil?
spaghetti. You make the spaghetti and put it on the side, right?
Yes.
And then
I know
you
where
use
this is
the
going.
olive oil with the shrimps and herbs, and you kind of just dump it, and it's a really light pasta.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
delicious.
pastas I make now. Like an
Yeah.
aglio e olio, the garlic olive oil pasta.
Yeah.
This is the what I go for. Unless I have like nice tomatoes that would make a nice sauce. But I don't use cream as much as I used to. I prefer like a clear sauce.
Yeah.
I like that more now.
I hate cream pastas, pastas with cream sauce. Oh, not my thing. at
It's
all.
a mood. It's a thing.
But no, it's never been my thing because I'm not a huge fan of like.
I was
heavy
just,
cream in my
I'm
desserts.
trying to be like healthy eating or whatever. So I would do like grilled chicken breasts, broccoli, and rice, and I would store them for 2-3 days. But what happens is you have like a bad day or something, and then it turns into a pasta somehow. I take the chicken, take the broccoli, I make pasta, make bechamel, and it's just like this is what I'm having today. And but like on like the regular days, I would rather have lighter foods. I love sandwiches too. Like in general, I can make anything into a sandwich. Like I always have to have like my relish and my cheese and my like hot sauce, and I just like to make sandwiches.
Yeah, I love it when those guys on those food bloggers make these sandwiches like the ciabatta. They slice it. I love the noises that they make, and then the
slapping.
steak that they slap
It's
on,
invasive,
and then the
it's, like,
masses,
aggressive, but I
the
like to do
layers
it.
of
It's like, pop, pop,
cheese.
pop, and
I
then
know it's like feels so like James Bond kind of like, and then the cheese that's layered on top of it, and the caramelized onions on it. Like
caramelized onions are my favorite thing.
amazing.
Just saying that out there, like caramelized onions are the best thing ever.
Deb, can I ask you something?
Yes, and I
Since you
make
food
them.
blog.
I love making them. I put them in everything you can imagine.
Yeah.
This is dessert. Of course. Like,
They turn my tummy up a little bit, but actually, I mean, I like it. It tastes good, but then it's like I have tummy ache for a while after that. But those food bloggers, I'm always very curious. How long does it take for that video to look like that? Is it a lot of effort, or is it just easy? It just seems like I'm always confused about
How many times they make
how
the same dish?
how much effort goes into that.
it depends on the blogger. Because a friend of mine, or I was just talking to, she's a blogger as well. She could take like 5 hours to shoot one video. I'm much quicker than that, but it takes me time to prepare everything. So I can take like maybe 2 hours to just shoot one video that is 1 minute at the end. Maybe sometime editing, and if there's voiceover. So there is effort into it. For me, it's thinking about what I'm going to do. That's sometimes you get a block and you don't know what you're going to film. If it's like a work video. For me, the prepping takes more time. Like
Okay.
I have to cut everything, slice, wash, clean, and because once I start shooting, because my thing is like quick, easy recipe ideas for like a quick lunch. I don't make like extensive, like
Like not like
meals.
those guys.
No, I don't do.
Yeah. And is it a lot of people behind the camera, or is it just you?
No, it's a one man show for me. I do everything.
Okay. Because
But a lot of people have help, like
yeah.
someone that edits their videos, someone that shoots their videos.
So you do everything from A to Z?
everything. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I have a mini tripod thing, and I just do everything.
Okay,
And I
that's
wash the
nice.
dishes myself afterwards too. Like,
Wow, that's amazing. That's one thing that gives me major anxiety about food bloggers. I watch it and I'm always like,
I like washing
dishes. You know, like sometimes these food bloggers put like, this is the aftermath, and it's like all these dishes all over the place. That gives me anxiety just looking at it.
Yeah, it looks terrible. I know.
One of my worst nightmares is like when I'm going to wake up in the morning to see, did Hazem leave a mess in the kitchen?
Oh,
or
I
not?
can't even go to sleep knowing that.
Oh, yeah. I go to sleep and everything's clean. And I'm like, but he doesn't do it so much anymore. I have to give him that. He used to do it a lot. I'd be like, can you clean up after you? But yeah, no, he doesn't anymore.
I try to use less things when I'm cooking. And a lot of times if I'm waiting for something to fully cook in the oven or something and I have some time, I would like start to wash some of the stuff I have so that I'm done when it's done, Yeah.
Cool.
But I like washing dishes. Like generally,
Really?
I like doing that. Yeah. I hate laundry, but I like to clean and like I've never done laundry actually in my life.
No, I
don't-
prefer laundry over.
Like I
Over
don't even
washing dishes.
Like I can fold, but I like washing dishes, like cleaning, general cleaning. But I don't do laundry. I just never.
Oh, I love doing laundry and I love doing dishes.
Yeah, dishes is fun,
My mom is just like,
and I don't trust anyone like doing it. I have to feel like I have to do it again.
exactly. Like,
Wow,
like when
that's
somebody
impressive.
cleans the house,
But I come from an OCD mother who's like obsessed with cleaning and
Oh, really?
organizing. So it's just, yeah.
I'm kind of messy, but when it comes to the kitchen, like I like a clean sink. Mom's always
Good
like,
idea.
Nira, we've got a dishwasher. I'm like, I like washing it by hand.
You don't even have a dishwasher.
I like really no, and I actually prefer washing by hand. I'm like, I don't want the dishwasher. I want to wash by hand. But when somebody else cleans it, I'm just like, if she brings the Brillo pad next to my mixing bowl, somebody's gonna get hurt. I'm like,
Yeah,
I had a chef's knife, beautiful chef's knife, really.
that's a good.
Good.
You don't.
You know what they did with it?
You say no.
She's like, Mira, I had your knife sharpened. I was like, huh? You had my knife what? And she showed me. I went, oh my God.
Wow.
You know the guy downstairs that sharpens it with the thing, and like, and this is chef's knife.
Oh yeah, it was. And
Really good chef's knife. And I looked at it and I said,
Panic mode.
she ruined the knife. You know, there's all these scratch marks on
course.
it. And I'm just like, Mom,
they have this obsession at my mother's place to sharpen knives, and they don't look like knives anymore, and you can't slice with
can't-
them anything.
yeah.
And you're like, why the hell they're horrible.
no, because there's a way to sharpen a knife.
All her
Besides
knives
the
are dull.
Metal sharpener. There's a stone that you have to use. It's because you ruin the metal.
blade itself, yeah.
The metal is the most important thing about a chef's knife. The metal, you know what I'm saying? And they do it in a certain way. She completely scratched both sides of the knife. It was just I cried. And then my mom thought I was
herself to sleep.
my mom thought I was crazy. And the thing is, I was really upset. And my mom thought I was making a big deal out of nothing. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like that with my pans, like my cooking, like frying pans and saucepans, because
Do you have the cast iron ones?
I have one, but I really don't use it that much.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you'd be like very
No.
protective over those.
I'm not. No, I've used it like a couple of times, but I feel it's not practical for me. I don't know why, and the way it's cleaned, and I haven't used it enough to know how to control the temperature in it. Maybe so I need to practice that a bit more. I just use regular frying pans. There's a brand that I really like called AMT.
Do you have them here?
Yeah,
What's it called?
AMT.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of that. I've seen
Like I've had them for years, and they're really, really good.
But you are the one that washes them, right? Nobody else washes
Wash and dry and put in whatever they're stored. And
That's
You
probably
see
why.
what's her name was done to our frying pan, Saba?
Yeah, and my mother's cleaner. She like
that's
the Brillo
Brillo
pad,
pad.
for the whole
that-
thing is like
I've
scratched.
seen that happen in front of my eyes once. I was like, okay, new rule. No one
Nobody
touches all my
touches my
stuff.
pants.
It's just let me do my thing.
Yeah. It was, oh my God.
Yeah.
So upsetting. So yeah, that poor chef. I bought a new one. I told him, you guys don't come near.
She hides it under her mattress. Pulls out the
And like
knife.
the other chef knife, they also, I don't know how they managed to break the tip of the
Oh,
knife.
I know. Yeah, I've seen that before.
They always do that here. And for me, they always try to open things. I'm like, do not
with
use
the
the knife
knives.
to open things.
Yeah, I've
Drives
seen it
me
with
crazy.
jars and stuff.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
screws.
terrible. Wow.
And I'm just like, no,
It's not a multi-purpose knife. It's just
Yeah, it's true.
Every knife is like in our house is like has the tip is like bent.
yeah.
It's like,
We have those too. Like
it's really annoying. It drives me bonkers. Actually, I'm like, please don't touch anything. Go away. I'm afraid for her to touch my KitchenAid. By the way, and she never cleans it properly anyway. So I'm just like, don't go near it.
Yeah, Nira's has like these secret cupboards in the kitchen where she like has things
I relate.
stashed and
I can relate to that.
They still take my knives out of there. By the way, it hasn't stopped them from going for the chef's knives. I bought a new one that's beautiful, but I'm like, you're not touching this one. Touch the other one. The one that you guys ruined, you guys can use. But it's anyway. What about? How do you feel about? Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
How do you feel about what's obviously I don't want to talk about the economy and stuff like that, but how it's affecting,
Fun.
but how it's affecting the prices of anything.
It's insane.
Are companies approaching you to do stuff that's like
Yes.
in a cheaper way?
They always
like
have, but now
okay.
it's like more offensive, I feel, because everything is, as you know, like is insanely overpriced, and like the inflation and everything that's happening, and people don't expect bloggers and influencers or whatever to raise their rates in a way. And I don't take it offensively unless someone says something like, which happened last week, no, but that's like too much for you. So like, what? You can go to someone with that budget. I don't mind. It's just people don't understand how to talk to other people. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean.
I have a lot of issues with that. Like, this could be like a whole episode on agencies specifically and how they deal with that. Sometimes clients and brands don't know, like the person in the middle, which is usually an agency, they just mishandle everything. And you end up hating the brand, which has nothing to do with it. And the brand ends up feeling like, oh, these bloggers and influencers are asking for too much money, which they're not. And it's just, it's really mishandled. So what was the question?
Like how things are like the price increase. I mean, how does it affect? I mean, it's affecting all of us. I mean,
for me, like, it's still like I have like rates which are like my salary, so it is affected because now I pay for everything that everyone else pays for and takes more from what I used to have as a profit. So it's
but do you think it's
really
also a
affected.
good time to start like anything food related right now
No.
in Egypt? Right?
I never really wanted to, for not just financial reasons, but just I feel like the Egyptian market is not something I would want to
deal with on a daily basis.
Yes, because if I do open something, I want to make it like a passion project.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't always see those working out, maybe, unless your passion or your style of food or the thing you like is what Egyptians would go for. And I feel like that won't be the case for me, maybe. So I just, and dealing with like so many like restrictions and rules and like, not rules, but like the bureaucracy of everything. It's just not something I want to deal with here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really something I've like had like a dream or something. No.
You know what? I think the quickest way to kill your dream is to actually open a business. Because when Nira and I did the Four Fat Ladies, we both had this like big vision in mind, like something like, this like home bakery around the corner, like how you have in the States or in Europe. It was like this really quaint idea of like, you go in, Nira's baking, you make a cup of coffee, you have something fresh that comes out of the oven.
Yeah.
You have merchandising, you have, like homemade granola, jams and all that stuff. Definitely.
That's the vibe I got actually from the very
but that tanked pretty quickly.
It was
Yeah.
like that.
very
First
much
of all,
so.
I mean, the partners tell on words aligned, and at the same time, possibly, I mean, to give them credit, that probably is something that maybe wouldn't take in Egypt. I don't know, but actually, Ratios has done that, and that probably is doing well
I
there.
disagree. It did work in Yemama Center, and that's why people were coming to us in Yemama Center.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
but like when he was talking about the bureaucracy, I'll tell you, because when it was just Nira and I wasn't working on it full time because I'm an interior designer, but I was doing it. I was kind of helping her out. So I designed the shop,
Okay.
and then she opened it, and then she was basically kind of running it with a few people that were helping her out. But you will not believe the amount of things like you'd have every week. Somebody would call me من الحي ما أعرفش
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
لا معلش you have the كهرباء عدد الكهرباء هنشيل عدد الكهرباء. It's like what excuse me, They're like, you didn't pay the bill. It's 13 piastres, something weird like that. And I'd be like, so obviously, they want kickbacks. So you give them something.
And
the next
and it never ends. And it just
it never ends. But this to me was like kind of like I kind of became every week you're kind of focusing on things that are really detrimental. Like they're taking away the focus from the main thing.
Exactly.
That was one. And then like literally, and then I don't know who was saying this is in violation. It's like, what's in violation? It's labeled and everything. Yeah, but the label is not written exactly which day of the month that it's like.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
And even if you do follow all the
they're still going to come up with something. Exactly. But Anna, for me, that became like such a joy kill.
Exactly.
You know, I can understand. I'm like you in that sense in interior design
That's
too.
the thing. Everyone thinks that food bloggers or chefs or whatever, that they're doing what I'm doing now to get to a point where they open their own place. And that's, I get why people would think that. But I never really wanted that because I feel I would hate what I love now if I do a business, like a real business out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Also dealing with like staff, and it's not a great thing in Egypt. It's like horrible what I hear from everyone. And
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, and the ingredient aspect of it, how if you're importing stuff, how difficult it is and how expensive it's becoming and how expensive you're going to have to be to make a profit. So it's just like the whole thing for me.
It's
like,
not the best time to
here, like on that side, the side of consumption, not.
I would say that I think after opening the Four Fat Ladies, after the first 3 years, I was like powering through and I said, we're going to do something. I kept on pushing through. Then after 3 years, when I felt like I was just like hitting a brick wall the whole time, I said, you know what? I used to bake a lot. I used to cook a lot before that. I have kind of a mild aversion to the kitchen now.
Oh, I couldn't go in the kitchen for the first 6 months after I left.
Yeah. But and for me,
really, I couldn't, like the idea of going to, everybody's like, Nira, why don't you try something? I'm just like, no.
I love baking now, but I've become
changes you.
I've become kind of bad at it. Like I used to be very good at baking. Now it's like I'm gonna make something.
How are you bad at it? You keep telling me how you make stuff so much better than I do.
I heard your cookies.
No, I never said that.
Like,
I said I baked Nira's batter to perfection. That's what I said. Yeah, I would be nothing if it weren't for Nira.
Aw, cookie.
No, but like it's true. Like no, but I used to bake quite well. I used to bake well, and I used to enjoy baking. Now it's like, I barely get food for Hazem when he comes back home from work. I feel sorry for him, but it's like I just hate it. I dislike it tremendously.
Yeah, no, it's no, I'm back in the kitchen though, finally.
Yes.
It took me a while.
Not that long, actually. 6 months is fine. You needed a break.
Yeah, 6 months.
You needed
actually a little bit less, 5, because Thanksgiving
you needed to go through some therapy and some downtime after that experience. But anyway,
I still need to go through some downtime. It's a year. Yeah, almost a year. I left in mid-May last year, but it was just tough. It was exhausting.
I'm sure.
Demoralizing. You started something that you had such high hopes for, and you really
walk in and kind of
to see it. Yeah, it was very kind of take a nosedive for something that had such potential. I think it just really I got depressed. But I got depressed before we let go of it completely, at 2 years before. So I emotionally was disconnected at the end.
Okay.
The last 2 years, I wasn't emotionally in it. And I'm just so happy I don't have to deal with any complaints. على فكرة أنا قلت لك هيك ناشفة قوي دي قديمة. I'm like, go.
Nira had this whole like, I was like, I'd look at Nira and be like, you're kind of turning into the soup Nazi of bakeries. You know who Seinfeld? And I'd be like, absolutely, Nira.
That's another reason I never really wanted to like open a place, because I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I feel like there's so much like ignorance when it comes to food and how every dish should taste and look like, maybe. So I wouldn't want to change, like if I'm making like whatever French restaurant, I wouldn't want to Egyptianize something just to please the Egyptian customer and to make a living. I would rather not do that, because I worked in customer service my entire life, even in like when I did credit analysis, when I did advertising, I was always dealing with customers, so I have that skill. But I'm like selling something that I really believe in. But if I'm changing something that I'm doing out of passion to make a living, it just didn't really sit well. And so that's another reason why I didn't want to
When I was on my own before we merged, I dealt with clients and it was fine because there was a very personal relationship I had with them. A very personal relationship. I knew them all by names. They knew me. If something went wrong, I could, fix it for them and stuff like that. It's the moment we branched out and expanded that the reaction became quite negative from people. It was, the consumer becomes different.
It's the same with social media, by the way. Whenever I post something, I have my followers that I know and that we talk and we have all these conversations together. I don't mind any negative criticism or as long as it's polite. So we have all these conversations sometimes, but whenever a video does really well, goes viral and gets much more views and reach and all that, it gets into this weird aggressive place and people start to feel super entitled to
bash you.
Yes, and it's for putting potatoes on chicken or whatever. It's just food, guys, just chill. But people get really aggressive and more just ugly and gross.
Does it get to you?
It used to. Now I just laugh and ignore and just.
So you don't confront it, you just kind of ignore it. Yeah.
No. Depends. Sometimes.
I can imagine it.
Every now and then I would have a reply frenzy, but not always. No, just let it go. Yeah.
People used to get pretty nasty with us, though. I mean, there's some comments that were just horrible.
I used to ignore it completely. It didn't bother me.
But when people write, "Oh, these girls don't understand anything about baking. Maybe they should just go back home and bake their cookies from a." They would say stuff like that, and it's so sweet. I threw it in the garbage. I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't have to say that. Just don't buy it if you don't like it.
Exactly.
But I noticed something in Egypt they do often. I don't know if this is anywhere, but I find it happens quite often in Egypt. طب ممكن تحطي سكر أقل شوية? طب can you please add a little bit more chocolate? Yeah. Can you just put a little, it's that's the recipe. That's it. If you don't, there's always this kind of, it can't just stop there. Oh, thank you, okay, or we don't like it.
They have to know better. They have to have input.
Of course, touch.
Of course. What do you know?
Yeah,
of course.
But it's. I find it amusing.
The baker.
Yeah,
she's actually the chef. She made a really nasty comment about the carrot cake. I think it was.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember. She probably was complaining. She's like, I'm a baker and I know how to bake. I said, well, okay, then maybe you should bake yourself. I said it nicely in a way, and she was like, yeah, okay, I know what you mean. I said, but this is our recipe, Fayani. I appreciate the feedback, but I can't do anything about it.
It's important because you have to have, I think it goes both ways because I know a lot of restaurants that did really bad because they were very adamant that what they're doing is right and they never took any, no, that's not the right way either. But there's a way to get the message to the person, I liked it, but I felt maybe it was a bit too sweet for me or whatever, but changing the recipe in that way, I think it just goes back to, I don't know, it's a much bigger thing in our society that people don't know how to communicate in a way that's proper, and there's this entitlement that I believe so, and if you see differently then you are.
And I think that's all over the world. Social media now,
yeah,
you've given a voice to everybody in the world, and so I find even sometimes when I see people putting bad, writing horrible shit, and I'm always how are you that pissed off? There's this one food blogger that I follow, and she had this whole thing about she was this, she was it was music and she's putting all the food and she's rapping and she's doing this rap, and then the caption, I didn't realize what she was doing, but she put in the caption, anybody who has anything negative to say about me cooking with my own bare hands without a glove, unfollow me. It's
it's the easiest thing, actually.
Stuff, and you're kind of thinking she's baking at her own home.
Yeah. If you think what she's doing is shit, just don't follow, don't watch. But taking the time, effort to write a comment and post, what's the
I always think people must
with
be
the sole intention of hurting that person,
it's nasty, and it just feels is there more important things to be thinking about as opposed to woman she's baking out of her home and she has millions of followers and she's doing nice stuff. It's
remember that comment I got when I made those cookies?
Yeah, it reminded me. That's why I sent it to you. I sent you that video.
Oh, really?
Because Nira got a video. They were like, oh, she's touching her hair. Why are you touching your hair and you're baking? It's or no, her hair was not pulled up. It was
no, I touched my face. I touched my face without it. The comments you got, and I'm baking my home. I was actually baking here, and I had my hair pulled up, or it was half up. So wait, when Martha Stewart does videos, cooking show, and Rachel Ray and all these people, their hair is down. It's not in nets, and they're cooking without gloves on. So, but nobody says anything.
If you're looking at something from home and people are
And you're not in a kitchen in a restaurant. You're baking at home.
Doctor was just like, I'm a doctor. This is disgusting. I would never. My daughters buy from you all the time. I'm gonna tell them not to. I'm like, there's a factory. And this is my home. Two different things. So it was nasty. Actually, full on nasty.
Omar, outside of food blogging, what are your favorite things to do?
Oh, I love to travel.
Yeah, I noticed that you have a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Where have been your favorite places?
My favorite places. I love Spain in general because I love the Spanish language and I'm trying to learn. So I try to go there as often as I can to maybe practice. I was in Italy a few months ago. I haven't posted about it because it kind of overlapped with other stuff happening in the world. So it just felt appropriate to share that right now. But it was a really nice trip. And
Did you eat a lot of food?
Yes. I had pasta every day.
How about the gelato?
Oh, pistachio, as they call it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, I had mostly pistachio gelato there. I thought like going there, I thought I was going to be like all over the pizza. It was great. But I feel like in Egypt, our pizza has become much better. Than it's not that far from what I had there, to be honest. But the pasta was completely different.
Oh, yeah, the pasta there.
It was like another, like the sauce, the pasta, it was like, I was obsessed.
Okay, great. I think their pasta there's... I'm not a pasta fan.
I went to a few cities, so I tried like different things. It was a nice food trip.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of pasta, but I actually love the pasta.
The pasta there is fantastic. But when you travel, you blog about food, right?
Yeah.
Okay, restaurants. So yeah. You went to Denmark. Was it Denmark where... No, it was somebody else.
It was probably Romy.
Yes.
Because his brother lives there. So.
Okay, that's what it was. So you were saying that you haven't posted about Italy because obviously, I'm assuming what's going on.
Yeah.
You're pretty vocal about it on your...
I was never really vocal about anything political. But, it really hit different for me. And I had like a weird depression thing when I was on my trip, actually, because it happened towards the end. And I was never really invested in what was happening. And I read up really well on what was going on history-wise and like reading every single thing. I just couldn't think of anything else. It was just overwhelming and terrible. So I couldn't help myself from not vocalizing what was happening.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It is pretty sad.
So I just didn't feel appropriate because usually I would go on my trip, then come back, edit what I was filming there, and then start posting after I'm back. So that kind of overlapped with what was happening because it was in like early October. So I just didn't post it at all. But I will someday, hopefully, because it was really like it was a fun trip, a lot of food, and I usually save it so people who go to these cities can have ideas of where to go, what to do, and like places to eat and stuff. It was fun. Yeah.
So great. And where can people find you? So are you mainly on Instagram?
Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram and also on TikTok. And
you are?
Yes.
Are you doing little dances or food stuff?
I love dancing. I dance all the time. But I don't dance on TikTok. Just food.
Okay,
No YouTube channel?
What's your handle on Instagram? And
Instagram is Omar Shabrawy, which is my name.
Okay.
Just as it is. And on TikTok, it's Omar's Food.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we want to really thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We
Yes,
loved
thank you so
having
much.
you, and I made you a healthy chocolate pudding with Nira's salted caramel sauce.
Yummy salted caramel
smells
sauce.
amazing.
On that note, we're gonna go try some of that.
Yes, we are.
Okay, great.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much
everyone.
for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Until next week.